Okay, let's address how to produce seating charts. Seating charts are great for taking daily attendance and for putting them in your substitute folder. To get to the seating charts, we're going to go over here to the left where it says Instruction. Then over under the Students column, you will see an option that says Seating Charts. Okay, once we get here, let me get rid of that option that's from earlier. We need to choose which course we want to make a seating chart from. Now, it's only going to let you do one course at a time, but the easy way to switch between courses is up here along the top. Anytime you see this combo box when producing some kind of report, you can easily switch between courses here. All right, so I'm going to just do it for the course I have. I'm going to call this one, I don't know, Seating Chart 2. You do have the option to determine how many rows and columns. That's great for more traditional classrooms that are in that kind of configuration, but if you're the kind of classroom that has pods or students grouped together in more of a circle or rectangle, you can still do that here as well. So the way this works is pretty similar to the way it worked in Tyler SIS. I would say, I'm going to say do not place students. If you wanted to alphabetically do it or randomly place students, you do have that option. But with students with IEPs and 504s and behavioral accommodations, I'm probably going to have to specifically place students. So I'm not going to choose any of those options. I will choose do not place. Then I will go over here and click Create Chart. Okay, when you first do this, it's going to put them in the row configuration that you chose in the previous step. So if you said 5 rows, 5 columns, it's going to go ahead and put them in that configuration. But don't worry, all of that can be modified. So I can actually drag these seats around and put them in the configuration that matches the way that my room is set up. So if I do have them maybe in irregular groups, maybe this one has 3 and this group over here has 8 and this one over here sits off to the middle, you can change this however you want to. Okay, once you go through and you make your configurations, you do have the ability then to place students. So we can drag and drop or choose one of the options I mentioned earlier. So there is a place students option. For the purpose of the video, I'm just going to show you how this works. I can drag and drop a student and it will put them there. Again, this one is not using photos since it's a demo course, but it should have actual photos in it once we connect with Canvas and get that set up. So you can see we're dragging and dropping, and I can go through and put my entire chart together however I see fit or whatever is appropriate. Once you're finished with your seating chart, then you would go up here and say Save. And that seating chart is completely finished. You can always go back and edit and modify later, or if you need to add additional seats because a new student was added or you needed more chairs, you can always go back in and edit this and add an additional seat. One thing I didn't mention earlier is there is an option up here to make default. So before you start assigning students to seats and you get your layout correct, you can say make default so that all of your other courses automatically use the same chair layout. It doesn't mean it's going to put students in those seats unless you choose to, but it's just going to get the layout of your room so that you don't have to do that step every time. When you are ready to print your seating chart, if you choose to do that, there is an option up here that says Print Options. And we can choose how we want this to print. Depending on your layout, you may want to switch over to landscape if it's a wider room. We can say how we want this to show up. Do we want last names and first names or just one or the other? Do we want nicknames? Do we want the picture? All of that can be added to it. And then when we go to print, again, this may not show up in the video because it is opening an additional window, but it will produce for you a PDF document in which you can save either in your Google Drive or on your desktop. And then there is a print option. That way you can send it to a printer or to one of the copy machines in the building. And I will tell you the seating chart looks even better in the printed document than it does on the web page. It's got nice sharp black lines and it's easy to read, high contrast. So that is the easy way to put together a seating chart in Infinite Campus.